Here it comes, folks. I want to say something else. The dynamic duos in the house, folks. Batman and Robin, Kato and the Green Hornet. It's about to go down, folks. We're about to kick some real ass. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. You live with your boy Lonzo, the godfather of West Coast hip hop. And my main man, like I said, Batman to the Robin, Kato to the Green Hornet. Kicking ass all the way down the line. Mr. Dusty One. What's up, Mr. Dusty Vision?
Lonzo. Can't complain, my man. How you doing today?
You know what, man? If I started complaining, I sound ungrateful.
Man, that's the life I'm trying to live. Definitely. Yeah, things have been good, man. You know, weather's nice. Looking like it's gonna be a nice summer. Gemini season is right around the corner.
It's
feeling
coming.
Good, man.
It's coming.
Yeah. We got to celebrate big this year. Well, shout out to the chat. Love you all. Thank you all for joining us. Please hit that like button before we get started. And if this is your first time joining the channel, welcome to the show. We have a lot to talk about, Lonzo. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about this story here. There's a $25,000 reward for a girl who may have been killed. They still don't know during a street takeover. So I'm gonna play this news clip and we're gonna comment on it. So let's just ride out real quick.
A reward in a street takeover hit and run. A woman who was watching cars conducting dangerous maneuvers last weekend was hit by one of those vehicles. Kimberly Chang is live in Leimert Park with details on the reward and the car police are now looking for. Hi, Kimberly.
Lou, hi. Detectives announced this morning up to $25,000 is being offered as a reward in this case. They say an illegal street takeover over the weekend turned into a felony hit and run. And they're trying to identify one woman in particular because they don't know if she's dead or alive. Take a look at the video. We've blurred parts.
So they're going to play this video of this girl at a street takeover, taking video like everyone does with their phone. She's turned around, not looking at nothing. And then from behind, boom, a car hits her. Shout out OG Steve. Let me keep this going.
Of it because it is graphic. Now you can see a young woman with her friend who's taking a selfie with a car doing dangerous stunts behind them. In seconds, the driver loses control and slams into them from behind along with other spectators in the crowd. LAPD South Traffic Division detectives say this video is from an illegal street takeover that happened this past Sunday near Manchester Avenue and San Pedro Street in the Florence neighborhood of South LA. Investigators say the Infiniti G37 was doing donuts when it spun out of control. They say the woman's head hit the ground and it appears she was unconscious when bystanders picked her up and took her away. Police say the driver fled and did not call 911.
The reality of street racing, Lonzo. Talk to me, man.
Somebody in trouble. You can't do that, Doc. You can't hit somebody and not report that stuff, man. Whether she lives or dies, it don't make no difference. That is a felony vehicular incident, put it that way. Dude, and here's the bad part. Somebody knows who did that. Somebody knows. Too many cameras, too many people out there. Somebody knows who did that. And
that's why I played it, because I'm hoping that we can help out as well. 25
grand, I give them about a week. They're gonna drop that quart. They're gonna drop a dime on that. They're gonna drop all that on them. If they ain't already done it, they just when did you get that story?
This was 3 days ago.
Oh, they probably just waiting to pick him up at the pad. Waiting on the Uber to pick him up and take him to jail. Okay. They just want to, do something like that. 25 racks. Shit. Somebody tell her.
God forbid. Yeah, God forbid this girl dies, and that's a whole other charge.
Vehicular manslaughter. That's about 15. Okay. That's about 15. I think it's about 15. And the fact that you hit and ran, it might even compound it. Heaven forbid if you have any other felonies. You might have crashed out on that one right there. All the going donuts. I just did a story in the paper about that, man. Compton has been plagued with street takeovers for the past couple of months. Hold on there. Doing my podcast. I'll call you right back.
Yeah, man. Call me Lonzo. Thanks.
That's my podcast agent. I'm trying to get me an agent here, Doc. We can blow this thing up to the next level, but you never know what he wants. Anyway, I know that's ghetto to answer the phone, but hey, sometimes gotta do that. Anyway, Compton City Council just passed a resolution to crack down. Okay, coming down hard on street takeovers. Compton has been plagued with this shit, man. People can't sleep. The streets smell like burning rubber and weed. And they taking over donut shops and stores, and it's just way out of control. So now, in the CPT, it's 500 to watch. It's 500 to watch. Okay, if
you get fined 500 to watch. You get fined.
You get fined 500 to watch for watching.
Hell yeah, I like that.
Okay, if you within 500 feet, oh shit, if you within 500 feet of the street takeover and you watching, whatever the case may be, your ass to get your ticket. The ticket for watching, the admission for watching is $500. First offenders on the, I think don't hold me to this. I think the first offenders is on the spectators tip was like $1,000 and possibly vehicular forfeiture. They taking rides, okay? And here's the cold part about it. You're doing donuts Sunday, they might not come pick you up until next Thursday or Friday. Because one of the problems with street takeovers is there's so many people there, they get out of hand real quick. So all you need is a person's license plate number, and it might be a deputy or a sheriff or a cop in the audience taking license plate numbers, watching you go in circles. Everybody got a phone, so you don't know who it might be, and they just wait and go get a tow truck, knock on your door with a warrant from a judge, come snatch your shit, and it's gone. 30 days, and if it's modified, it might get crushed. Okay, mandatory 30 days, and up for sale after 30 days, and depending on if it's any kind of major modifications, they may just put it under the crusher and just say forget about it. All that Dom Fast and Furious shit is going to come to an end real quick. And I think it goes into effect this week, or it may have been last week. It was 30 days after they passed it before it goes into effect. But it's definitely going to go into effect. And like I said, they don't have to get you that night. They're going to lay low, get your license plate number. And here's the cold part about it. Oh, it's my mama's car. Too bad. My daddy's car. It ain't my car. Too bad. If the person that was driving the car had shared the same address as the car registered to, too bad. Because that was the big thing back when it first happened. Oh, my grandson stole my car. Well, 9 times out of 10, he lived there, use your address, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. So the judge will get the car right back to him. But nowadays, if you have somebody, if you co-signed, or you let somebody use your car and they decide to go out there and do donuts in it, y'all both finna be walking. Sound cold, but you got to be cold when the shit get too hot. You got to get cold because, dude, they abuse in Compton when it comes to street takeovers. Ambulance can't go down the street. The streets are blocked for hours. They blowing people off with the fame, disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. People are trying to sleep, and they do it a lot of times in residential communities, man. Houses on all 4 corners, you got nothing but skid marks all in the streets because people decide, oh, you don't need to sleep. I need to do my dumb shit. And it's not just cars. That's the cold part. They if you get caught doing wheelies, stoppies on how you stop, you mash your front brake, your back tire go up, any type of display of vehicular, what's it called? I forgot the vehicular display of recklessness. Your ass is you get you a skateboard. You about to be kick push.
Lupe Fiasco on that ass. Hey, my area right now, we're having a huge problem because I live by a riverbed and these motherfuckers come by 20 times a day, but we're having a real big problem with those little motorbikes. Are you guys seeing the same issue?
Mini
Like
bikes?
30, 40, on those little mini bikes, no helmets, nothing.
The mini bike gangs. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. They got gangs of mini bikes. Again.
Literally gangs.
Again, ain't got no helmets. Half of them don't have no helmets. No license plates. no kind of lighting on them where you're going to, if they're going to stop, pull up in front of you. They dangerous. They loud as fuck. Okay. And another thing, the problem with those things are when the cops show up, they scatter. And when they scatter, they endanger themselves because they're trying to get away from the police. You don't know who's going to put out of a driveway, who may open up a door. And to avoid them hurting themselves, trying to get away from the police, they let them go. Okay? They let them go. You're only going to get one or two of them. You're going to get all of them. If you got 30 cats out there riding mini bikes, quads, you got to have a whole bunch of cops. You got to have them pretty much in a street with no side streets, no alleys, no nothing, no driveways, and just blocking me in all at the same time. Because if not, you gonna need fire trucks to block the streets for that shit. You can't block it.
I was talking to a sheriff. Sorry to cut you off. I was talking to a sheriff who patrols my area, and I asked him about it just out of curiosity. And he said now there's a new law that they are in my area specifically. I don't know how it is in the rest of LA County, that they aren't even allowed to chase them anymore. They can't unless they see them physically murder someone or something like that, shoot them. They can't even chase them anymore.
Dude, you can't even chase somebody if somebody is driving a stolen car and the cop pull them over and the car is stolen, all they go get is a goddamn ticket. I ain't bullshitting. Ask me how I know. Dude, this morning, okay, along with being the godfather of West Coast hip hop, I got a couple other businesses that I run as well. Okay. One of my businesses is the Hub City Legend newspaper for the city of Compton. Along with that, I also run the Compton Entertainment TV channel. So I go out and videotape stuff all the time. I'm doing stories all the time. And this morning, I spent from 9 o'clock in the morning till about 10:30 on Alameda in LA at the sheriff station on Alameda, listening to Sheriff Luna speak. Okay, I'm there. I'm telling you what God loves. See, one thing about me, I can go hang out with the police. I ain't worried about it because I ain't got ain't nothing we gonna do. They let me bring my cameras in, and I recorded the whole program. Okay. And I learned a lot of different things by doing what I do, by going to city council meetings, town hall meetings. These meetings happen all the time, but because they're not big media situations, the big stations don't cover them. So I cover them, and I put them on my television channel. I listened to Luna talk today, and he seemed like a pretty decent dude. We didn't get a personal conversation, but just listen to him talking, I get a pretty good perspective of people just by listening to him talk, how they carry themselves. And he was saying how, he's cool with the DA, but the DA, they got their problems, man, because the DA, even if you catch guys doing certain things, the DA don't prosecute them, which is a problem. You got stores. One lady was saying she was at the store, the Ross, and she saw two guys walk in with trash bags and hoodies on and just start grabbing shit. And it's not that they're intimidating her. It's just frightening to see people be so brazen. It's really nerve-wracking. You out there shopping with your credit cards, your money, and this fool right next to you just grabbing shit and walking out, and nobody don't say nothing. She said she told the so-called what you call that shit? The anti-theft, not the anti-theft, the loss prevention. Hey, you being robbed? He said, yeah, we know. The fuck? What kind of loss prevention is that? Yeah, we know. But again, it's an economic thing. The money that there's still the amount of money that the amount of the merchandise they're stealing supersedes any lawsuit. I mean, that will be superseded by any lawsuit they get by trying to stop them. So in other words, they can't afford to enforce the law. It's economically unfeasible to enforce the law. What kind of bullshit is this? Think about that, man. Think about that. I mean, when you think about this for a minute and reel the clock back to the 90s, the average cop makes about $75 an hour. Not to mention captains and lieutenants and sergeants, whatever the case may be, SWAT, whatever the case. So somebody go to bust a dope dealer. You got usually 25, 30 cops coming to the dope house with dogs, everything. The manpower that you utilize to cricket a dope dealer's house just to get, what, a half an ounce or a bird? Economically, back then, that wouldn't be feasible. Economically, it wouldn't be feasible. But it made the street safer in some cases. Okay? When you see a situation in the cops, you see cops, man, sometimes there'll be one traffic stop, but there'll be 5 cars sitting there kicking it, watching the back of that car. Is that really economically feasible? Think about that. You got one cop doing a search of a car or doing the car stop, but you got 5 or 6 cops sitting there watching him do this, and you know the rest of the city is being pretty much unprotected. Economics, man. And for a ticket that may get kicked out, don't make no sense. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking while you were saying that, Lonzo? A few of my friends and I were just talking about how I don't see cops anymore, dude, like I used to. I don't see California Highway Patrol like I used to. You know, am I the only one noticing that? Because I don't see cops anywhere. I mean, I don't live in the best, area. I live in, Southeast LA portion where we used to see a lot of cops. Now I don't see anything. Do you? Am I tripping? What do you say?
I usually see cops when there's a cop situation. What I mean by that is, if there's a stop or something like that, I'll see 4 or 5 carloads of cops. I don't see Highway Patrol at all. Like, remember, as you mentioned it, I don't see Highway Patrol much of, hardly any. But
at
talking
all,
to Luna,
dog, right?
Listening to Luna, going to these different meetings, I realized they're 20% short on cops right now. It's supposed to be 10,000 cops. They only got like 8,000. They're short on everything. So I mean, if anybody listening to me right now, and not necessarily be a cop, but there's some other jobs, civilian jobs in the sheriff department or in the county. They hiring everywhere. Hiring. If a nigga ain't got a job because he either you done crashed out and messed up your shit back in the day, or you just don't want one, or you must be on Instagram showing your feet or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that was just something that I thought while we were talking. But I'm gonna take this opportunity to tell everybody to subscribe to Lonzo's other channel, Compton Entertainment. Wait, was it Compton Entertainment Channel, right, Lonzo? Am I saying it correct?
Download the app, please.
Okay.
Download the app.
Yeah, and definitely on YouTube as well, because Lonzo posts content on there. So Compton Entertainment Channel, and I say that because a couple of weeks ago you did a interview with Lily Trujillo of Street Racing Kills.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that interview went?
Man, a buddy of mine turned me on to Lily, and interesting lady. Her daughter was killed in a street racing situation. She was in the back seat of the car, fell asleep, didn't have a seatbelt on, and the guy decided to take somebody on in the race, and she was the only one in the car that was killed, man. And the girl was like maybe 19 or 20 or something like that. She was very young, and Lily just motivated her to start her organization called Street Racing Kills. And she goes out to schools and talks about the dangers of street racing. And here we are today talking about somebody who was, didn't even know she was in danger till the asshole hit her with the car. And I'm trying to figure out how do you turn your back on something like this when you see and people out there going in circles? What are you looking at? And that's so entertaining that you don't see this car come at you. But again, that's a whole nother scenario. But yeah, Lily is a very interesting lady. I like her a lot, and we share a lot because again, I'm a victim of street racing. I was involved in this car that was hit by a street racer, and my passenger died in the car. So that's something near and dear to my heart, dude. That's for real. I spent 5 days in the hospital with fractured ribs and dislocated shoulders and shit. So when it comes to that shit, I can't stand them from bitches. I can't stand them. They're selfish and they don't respect nothing.
Yeah, and sadly, you made it out better than the person who was in the car with you did. Unfortunately, you witnessed someone die from some asshole street racing.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I mean, when you if you, I wish I could have found my pictures of my truck. I don't know how I made it, dude. That was God, dude. The dude hit me going over 100 miles an hour. He hit me and my passenger died, dude. I don't know how I survived. Only thing I can think of, reason why I'm sitting here today, because when I drive, I'm an old low rider. I lean to the inside. Okay, I lean to the inside. I got my arm on my armrest. I got my hand up, and I guess by the time they hit the car, I was maybe damn near a foot inside the car, and so he got my shoulder, but he just dislocated it, didn't break it, and he bruised some ribs real bad. My ribs was fractured. I couldn't hardly breathe for damn near a week, dude. It was horrible. It was horrible. Not to mention the mental anguish that I still deal with today, and that's shit.
Glad you're here, my man. Glad you're here,
dude.
PTSD like a mother.
Huh?
Right. Yeah, PTSD, homie, is real. PTSD.
I literally have vehicular PTSD, and I tell you, anytime I get into an Uber, look, man, I got vehicular PTSD. And if I get scared, I'm gonna fuck you. You make me nervous, I'm gonna knock the shit out your ass. I'm telling you right now, slow this son of a bitch down. I can't ride with everybody, man. I cannot.
That's hilarious, man. Hey, let's keep. Yeah. Shit, I can't either, homie.
So two things I don't do.
I begin to push in my imaginary brake and gas pedal and shit on the passenger side.
It's two things I don't do. I don't eat everybody's food. I don't ride with everybody. Simple as that.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it pushing, Lonzo. I came across a tweet, just a random tweet, man. And I thought about what your reaction would be to this. The tweet just goes like this. Dying over a hood that belongs to housing authority is crazy to me. When you hear that, talk to me, dog.
Yeah, Doc. I never.
First person I thought of when I saw that.
I have never understood the mindset behind that. I never understood it. Because especially if you're not a homeowner, if you were renting anywhere, apartment, condo, and you had the landlord can give you a pay or quit, a 3-day notice, you are vulnerable to be living anywhere at any given time. Your status may change in a matter of months. So to put yourself in that position, and a lot of guys have experienced that. They get moved around, whatever the case may be. Next day, one day you wear a blue hat, next day you wear a red hat, and to say you dying over something that is owned by the government, I don't understand it, dude. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, man.
I just don't understand it.
Or the park, or a park or something like that, claiming a park with a president that probably owned slaves. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Here's the sad part, dude. I remember I was listening to a Whack 100 show. These guys are arguing about who claimed this park. I'm like, these guys are in their 40s claiming the parks. Huh? This is our park. Okay, what else you do besides sitting here and drink these 40s? Hey, man, it is what it is, Doc. You can't save everybody, and everybody don't get it. Everybody don't get it. If they don't get it,
that's why we're here, man. We're changing. We're going to change the algorithm, Lonzo. We're going to change the algorithm. I'm telling you, man, slowly. It's going to take a little time, but we're going to change this motherfucker. Let's keep it pushing, man. Let's keep it pushing. We got a lot to get to. I want to ask you this question because it's going to lead into the main topic that I would love to discuss with you for the rest of the night. But last week, someone asked this question, and it's kind of perfect because it coincides with what I wanted to talk about you with. But someone says, ask Lonzo, what was the most racist thing that's happened to you as a child, as a kid? You have anything that stands out?
Yep, I got a couple of things.
Talk to us.
My dad used to go to Gardena High School night school. He was, getting his GED or his diploma, and he went to night school at Gardena High School. And every once in a while, I would go all the time. But one night, me and my brother decided to go. And we were playing basketball in the gym. We hang out. That's what we did. Waiting on my dad to come out of school. Class wasn't but a couple of hours. And this little white dude, took our ball. And he took our ball. It was my personal ball. And went to go play basketball on the other court. I'm like, hey, man, that's my ball. Give me my ball. And he threw it at me, and he hit me with it, okay? And I must have been about 10 or 11, okay? And my brother, if I'm 11, my brother was, I must have been 12. My brother must have been about 9. And man, this dude, we was trying to figure out was he crazy or what? And we started playing dodgeball, but the only thing about it was we was the only one getting the ball thrown at us. Okay, he never stood against the wall, and the motherfucker's eyes, and he just had these crazy ass eyes, and we finally got tired of playing, and we started to walk off with the ball. Come back here, niggers! And that was last time I went to. That was last time I went to Gardena High School. But we told my daddy what happened. He would let us go back no more. Another time, we were riding through Hermosa Beach, me and my cousin. And Hermosa Beach is really crowded on the weekend. It was my cousin and our girl. We had my cousin, his girl, her kids, me, my girl, and my daughter. And a bunch of white boys in one of those pickup vans. The Chevy trucks at the back part comes off, not a pickup truck, but it looks like a pickup. It's like looks like almost a SUV, but the back part comes off. There was about 5 or 6 of them, and they started fucking with us, and we got mad. We was ready, but we had kids in the car, So I've seen that, man. I've seen that for no reason. Do we just what did they say? Something like "go home, niggas" or something like that. I'm like, oh shit. Me and my cousin both got pissed, but we had to leave because we got kids in the car. So yeah, Doc, I've Blazer. Thank you, Vista Light, 1972. Yeah, it was a Blazer.
Oh, yeah.
The Blazer truck, and I had one, and the back part would come off. It was really a nice truck. It had a little seat in the back, and it was about 4 or 5 of them in the back of it. Stood up to had drinking beer and shit. And they got real belligerent real fast. And like I said, my cousin was kind of pissed, but we knew we was, we weren't in a position to do nothing. All we could do was get the fuck up out of there. That's real talk.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's going to lead into tonight's topic. But before we jump into that, I want to remind everybody to hit that like button. If you have not already, please hit that like button right now. It really helps us out, helps the algorithm, helps our show grow, all of that good stuff. If this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button. You are tuned in to NWA Stories with Lonzo. That is the godfather of West Coast hip hop, Lonzo Williams. Do your Googles if you don't know who this man is. He is the reason West Coast hip hop is what it is today, period. That's the best way to describe it. I'm Dusty Vision. We welcome you to the show. Let's jump into tonight's topic, Lonzo, that I want to kind of discuss a little bit with you. We are coming up on the 32nd anniversary of the LA riots, April 29th, 1992. I remember like it was yesterday. I could still smell the smoke in the air. And it just amazes me that it's been 32 years. Now, it may have seemed like we recently talked about this, but we haven't. Life just moves so fast. Last time we talked about it was 11 months ago, pretty much on this date itself. So let's jump into it, man. I want to talk about the LA riots, but I want to talk about everything before leading up to the LA riots. Let's talk about, let's go back to 1965, because that does always correlates with the LA riot. 1965, we had the Watts situation. Let's see, 2 guys get pulled over accused of drunk driving. They get manhandled, a crowd builds. The mom comes of one of the boys, cops start roughing her up. Next thing you know, we got water hoses on us and German Shepherds attacking us. And I think like 30-something people lost their life, mostly black people, in that Watts riot situation. I know you are a youngster, Lonzo, but what do you remember about the Watts riot?
That was 1965. That means I was 8 years old, 8 or 9. Maybe I might have been 8 because I hadn't had my birthday that year yet. I was about 8 years old. I remember that very vividly, dude, because I lived where I lived at. It was a department store at the top of the hill, and I remember people running down the hill 2 or 3 guys carrying couches and big. We didn't have flat screens back then. Motherfucker carried nigga still a TV set. He had to be bad, okay? I mean, people got wagons and all kind of shit. They carrying shit out the store, then they burnt the store down. Okay, the store was called Gibson's. That was our main store. It had a department store on one side and a grocery store on the other. Okay, and I remember because in that store they had these little sub offices that you had a record store, cleaners, a couple of insurance company, and some other little spot. And after the riots, all those businesses were gone. They were all gone. Okay, they were all ran by non-black folks, and they didn't come back. The store came back, but it was never right. It was never the same again. Okay, the store kept changing hands. It was never the same again. It was smoke for days. Then we went into the military state. Man, we had National Guard patrolling the neighborhood. Dude. My daddy had to get checked. My daddy worked graveyard shift. He had to get almost a pass to come and go home, to leave and come home. I think I told this story before. I'm gonna tell it again. At my house, we had just put the garage in the back of the house, but we didn't have a gate on the driveway yet. And I was the only one authorized to go out in the street to get the ball when the basketball rolled out in the street. And one time the ball rolled out in the street, and I go pick up the ball, and I pick up a M16 bullet about this big ass bullet. And for a 9-year-old kid, 8-year-old kid to have a bullet, oh man, that's like having a frog or anything else. I'm the shit. I got a bullet. And my sister dimed on me. My middle name is Eric. They call me Eric. Eric got a bullet, mama. My mama saw the bullet, whooped my ass for not telling her. And then when National Guard came through their patrol, the next one, my mama was 5'3", 5'4". Shit. She flagged them down like she had a problem and cussed their asses out. She cussed them out. Okay. How dare y'all come to the community, blah, 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 and dropping bullets for kids to find, whoop-de-whoop. And all that big corn-fed white boy did was, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And a few days later, another one came by the house and apologized. Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Okay? And
you can't leave out the best part, her cock wig.
A wig. Oh, yeah, she got the wig. She
can't leave out the best part, her cock wig.
Oh, yeah, my mama would put on a wig like a baseball cap, okay? She just throw it on. She be in the house, ain't got a hair color. Give me my good wig. You throw that some bitch on, it might be a little twisted. And he still twisted wig and all. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay? So that was, man, and then the streets just it was really messed up, man. It was really messed up. Because the smoke, especially at nighttime, because at nighttime, that's when everybody be cool in the daytime. Nighttime, it was going down. The liquor stores got robbed. I mean, people ran in liquor stores, and a lot of the stores then were not owned by black folks. They were owned by non-black folks. I'm gonna put it like that. Shortly after that, they came back. A lot of the stores were
even in 65.
Yeah, they had a few brothers, but not a whole lot. They had a few, but not a whole lot. But after that, a lot more businesses got opened, and they all left after '92 riot. Though they left in '92. The brothers that came up or were able to get loans, because after the riots, they start giving people love. They built Martin Luther King Hospital. They start doing other things in the community. Try and make people feel a little more comfortable. So brothers be invested. When one group moved out, another group moved in. And then in '92, everybody said, I'm out of here. Brothers were like, no. Then we got a new group in. Wasn't black though. They came with plexiglass and a different attitude.
Yeah. All right, let's fast forward a bit.
100. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, so we'll fast forward. We're telling the story leading up to the LA riots. So let's fast forward a little bit. You know, obviously crack hits the community. That's a horrible thing, messes everything up, takes fathers out of households, murder rates sky high. You know, we have corruption in the LAPD. They're trying to match the energy in the streets, so they're forming their own gangs and things like that. You know, 80s going into 90s. And like you mentioned earlier, a lot of others started owning businesses, mainly liquor stores and things like that. So we'll fast forward to March 1991, if I do believe that was the date. And Latasha Harlins happened. Asian lady who owned a liquor store ends up taking the life of a 15-year-old black kid who had money in her hand. She had intentions of paying. She just got into a scuffle with the lady over the backpack, and there was a whole situation. She takes her life from the back, some punk stuff, but she gets off. You know, I was a little too young, Lonzo, to really understand the magnitude of that. You know, can you talk to me about that situation specifically?
That one was real hard, dude. That one was real hard. That one was, because for one, I've been to that store a few times. My auntie lived right down the street from that store, 91st and Figueroa. Been to that store dozens of times as a kid. It was run by different people at that time. The fact that the girl had the money in her hand, and whatever reason, the old lady decided she wanted to shoot her and kill her, was a very difficult time for everybody, especially the fact that she didn't do no time. She only got. I heard that today. I'm listening to this gangster rap history audio book by Thorne Baker, and they talked about that today. And homegirl got like 5 months in jail, and he had to pay a $500 fine for killing her, dude. And then they had to do a whole bunch of negotiations. Everybody had to come to the table. The blacks and the Koreans had to come to the table real quick, dude, because it got real heated. But it did. I don't think it blew up as big as the riots did. But it was some shit got shoveled. Some shit got broken for damn sure. But I can't recall completely. But I do remember it was a lot of conversation in the community how this is going to work moving forward, dude. Because y'all didn't do nothing to this lady, man. She killed this girl, shot her in the back of the head because she allegedly stealing a bottle of orange juice that she was prepared to pay for. For whatever reason, this older lady, she couldn't let it go, and then the court gave her probation for murder. Probation? I ain't never known damn brother ever got probation for nothing like that. Brothers don't get probation if the gun is yours, you might get probation. But other than that, nah, you can't pull the trigger and hardly get and hit nobody and get no probation. That don't happen. I forgot. But I keep saying I know Johnny Cochran was involved somewhere from a fashion. Somebody mentioned that, but we talked about this before.
Johnny, not too long ago, actually.
He played a role somewhere from. I don't think he was on that side, but he definitely played a role in negotiating something that made sense. Okay.
Wow. Do you remember other places talking about this? Was this a nationwide story, or was it just more people in LA were upset about it?
It was nationwide, dude. It was a major story, Doc. It was major. It was definitely a major story. Because nobody could understand how this woman, because they were gonna send her back. I think they sent her back to Korea, if I ain't mistaken. She had to do 5 months, pay a fine, and like 5 months house arrest. Some old slap on the wrist shit, okay? Some old slap on the wrist shit, like what? Huh? And because somebody pulled some major string, because she was an older lady, but she wasn't that old. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, that's a sad situation. All right, so that happened. It's a major story, and literally damn near right after that, we turn on the TV one day, Lonzo, and we see this very grainy video of 4 policemen with Zaza Zupin, a black man who doesn't look like he's given up much of a fight. Now, anyone who doesn't know the story, there was a man who was on his porch or his balcony or something. He had just got this shiny new VHS.
He was in his bathroom. He saw it from his bathroom, I believe it was.
There you go. Yeah, he got his shiny VHS camcorder, big ass camcorder.
Probably
and he caught this
back then, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no 4K back then, folks. It was VHS, and he just got it, and he saw them doing what they were doing to Rodney King, and he videotaped it, and that just changed the world, because that was the first time ever that America ever witnessed that really happened. People have talked about it. You suspected they had it in movies, but nah. We got it on tape for the first time, Doc, and that changed a whole lot of attitudes.
You saw it the first time. When you saw it, you turn on your TV and you see it. You're a grown gentleman at this time. You know, what are your thoughts?
Mad the motherfucker, dude. I'm mad because that could be me, dude. That could be anybody I know. I've known people that have been beaten by the police before. For nothing, for having a new car, or for going someplace too clean, and just how all of a sudden next thing you get harassed, and you say something, they say something, and next thing they want to handcuff you. And, no, man, I'm not going to jail tonight. And usually they change, the situation changes in their favor, but it's definitely, as my daddy would say, some furniture gonna get moved before it happens. And that's the part you're not gonna win. By the time they file a report and tell a story, you're not gonna win. In most cases, you're not gonna win without somebody having a camera on them.
Yeah, so this was a huge story. I remember this. I'm 14 years old at this time, so I fully get it. I get it. I'm watching every news story. I'm listening to Donahue and Sally Jesse Raphael and whoever was out at that time, just listening to this. And here comes the trial. Now, I did not follow the trial at that time, didn't understand anything about the trial. I do know that it divided the city. There's plenty of YouTube videos online. Go check them out sometime, where there's white people going against black people, and they're just, the cops were right. No, they weren't, motherfucker. And it was just some really heated stuff. It divided the city at that time. What do you remember that time just about the trial period, Lonzo?
They were trying to make it seem like, although it was 4 guys there, that one guy did more stuff than the other. I think Stacy Keach was his name, that did most of the beating. Was it Coon?
I think.
Stacey Coon. Yeah, Stacey Coon was the one that did most of the beating, or another guy that actually was escorted in the court by Eazy-E at one time. That was a major, that was a big deal.
Wait, rewind, hold on, wait, what?
One of the cops, I think Eazy walked in the court with him or something like that, dude.
What? I've never heard that story. Easy Steve, where are you? We need to.
Come on, man. Come on. Check me out. If I'm lying, correct me. If I'm lying, correct me. But one of the guys, either Eazy spoke up for or something of that nature. It was a major situation, because Eazy-E spoke up in behalf of this one cop who did not do as much as everybody else. And I think he may even tried to stop it at one time. But yeah, again, I'm listening to this book today, and it was mentioned in the book. Okay, Eazy-E supported one. He supported one of those cops that was involved in it, if I'm not mistaken. Check your shit right quick.
Yeah, I'm looking as you're talking, but someone will find it for us. I know we got a lot of Eazy fans, so someone will find it for us. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Eazy knew how to go viral before the internet was even around. Thank you. Officer Wind,
Officer Wind. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm learning something
he
new.
Walked in the or when he came out, Eazy stood beside him or something like that, dude. He definitely had his hand involved in that before the guy, doing the trial. He lended him some support. Because I don't think this guy was as active with the nightsticks as everybody else was. See if it's Officer Wynn with a W-Y-N-N. I might be Wynn as opposed to Wind. I'm not sure, but I think it's Officer Wynn.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely check that out. Yep. Robert Wynn. Yeah. All right, cool. I'll look into it. Yeah, right. Damn. Okay, that's crazy. So I was 14, and like I said, I was in it, but not really in it like an adult would be. Lonzo, you know, you being a little older than me, what were the streets talking during the trial? Like, I remember one time hearing something from somebody, not verbatim, but them saying if this trial doesn't go a certain way, then all hell's going to break loose or something along those lines. You know, what were the adults talking about at this time during the trial?
It was kind of like what you just said, pretty much. You know, they need to do right by this dude right here. Nobody knew Rodney King, but they need to do right by this brother. It was obvious he was getting the shit beat out of him in Simi Valley by 4 or 5 cops, and they kept saying he was moving. He was moving. When you keep getting hit, you're gonna keep on moving. Okay, it wasn't like he was trying to run or fight back. Your body's gonna react to that shit. Okay, your body's gonna flinch. You're gonna, you know, he kept moving until he's knocked out or unconscious. He's gonna continue to move, man. So for them to keep saying he kept moving, they never tried to handcuff him. They just kept beating him. They wasn't trying to cuff him. They was just beating him. You know, they had a good target. He was a big dude. They had him outnumbered. It was dark. They had everything they needed to make it happen, and they put on a show for the camera and got caught. If it hadn't been for that camera, he'd have been a lumpy brother that went home that night or went to jail that night and he fell down or something. 54 blows. Thank you.
Gee, I'm 14 at this time. Once again, I'm watching this, and I knew it was wrong then, and of course I know it was wrong now as a man who's almost pushing 50. So my mind hasn't even changed on that. But how did the jury not see this?
They didn't care, dude. And
it was an all-white jury too, so it was in Simi Valley. They moved it from LA County to Simi Valley as well.
Right. When you jury of your peers, that was the peers of the police. They weren't Rodney King's peers. They were not Rodney King's peers. They were peers of the policemen. And if you watch enough movies, some of the most diabolical things happen, obviously right in front of your face, and not guilty. And that's what made the OJ trial so impactful for us, because everybody figured he had something to do with it, but he got away with it. So we like, yay! And that's why even the OJ just dying, it's still a controversy on, you know, hey, he may have done it, but fuck you. Okay, that's the attitude. If he did it, fuck you. How many times we done got fucked over by the same legal system? Johnny knew how to play the game. So same thing, Doc. I'm not belittling anybody's death or anybody's beating or anything of that nature, but you know, sometimes it's like an eye for an eye. Oh, you got me, I got you back. We had a chance to get one for the Gipper, and they got it for the juice.
Now everyone remembers where they were when during OJ's verdict. I'm pretty sure it was the big story, but do you remember where you were during the Rodney King verdict? And talk to me and tell me what you were feeling and all that.
At Rodney King verdict, my stomach sunk, because that was major topics, man, for all the brothers' conversations. Major topics. A major topic for all brothers' conversations. I watched it on the news. I watched all the commentary. I watched everything. My cousin was around. We had conversations in the morning. We had them after the court trial. We talked about it. It was all consuming, dude. It was all consuming. And when they said he had they gave him not guilty. So well, they gave one guy. They gave one guy a little time, but for the most part, not guilty. Not guilty. Last time I felt like that, the next time I felt like that, it was the day Trump won. Night when Trump won, I just felt sick, dude. Like, what the fuck? What y'all think? What are y'all thinking about? Same thing. I was like, what are y'all thinking about? What did I miss that you didn't see? What did I see that you missed? And it just was a very disheartening feeling, man. And you really felt that you were in the wrong place, dude. It made you feel like you were in the wrong place, because it was obviously something there was, you know, the dude that was he was allegedly doing 100 miles an hour in a Hyundai. He must have been going downhill in the snow, but that still didn't justify all the, why you give him a ticket? At one point in time, when were you going to try and handcuff him? That was street justice, dude. That had nothing to do with law and order. That was just street justice. And what most gangbangers know, the rule of the street is if you run, they get to beat you. If you run from the police, they get to beat you. Whether it's in a car or on foot, it's the same philosophy. It's not written no place, but that is the common scenario. If you run from the police, they're gonna beat your ass.
92, you were you were a younger cat. Let's go 30-ish, something like that.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So, do you remember anyone talking about, like, behind the scenes, obviously, like talking about, hey man, we about to riot if this shit goes down, or was it something that just gradually happened?
Nah, I didn't.
That you remember?
I didn't. I wasn't involved. I didn't know about. None of my people was into rioting or anything. I can't think my brother. He was into shit like that. He would go out there. He called it shopping. I'm going shopping tonight. But that's right after that we had a lot of peace. We had a lot of peace meetings because brothers was pissed off. And shortly after that, I started doing my television show, because I started doing my television show in Compton in '92 because of the riots. That combined with being a part of the peace treaty and the various things in the city, we would do even peace dances at doodles. I mean, it was a movement, but man, it was one of the movements that we wanted it bad. But a lot of people didn't want this. They didn't want that, dude. They didn't want that, man. Nah. That seemed like something that we have to keep this status quo. Because one thing about it, we realized that at that time, gangbangers had the police outnumbered majorly. Okay, and I remember being at Magic Johnson Park or over Ujima Village. We had about 5,000 people over there, Bloods and Crips, okay, essays, everything. And I've never been a gangbanger. I've always been a peace promoter in my own way. And because of my musical history, I have a lot of respect from gangbangers. And they asked me to speak a couple of times. Two things happened that day. A few things happened that day. One, I remember brothers at that time was in their 50s and 60s, crying and hugging, red and blue, trying to work it out, dude. It was a lot of love in that park. Two, the police was videotaping everything that was going on that day. They had cameras everywhere, big ass cameras. And three, when I got ready to get my liquor license at the Kerner Fair, the intelligence department from the Inglewood Police Department told me they was going to block my liquor license because I was affiliated with the Crips. The police called me and told me that, Mr. Williams. I know you're trying to open your business, but we're not gonna prove that because we have you speaking at a gang rally at in Los Angeles, and we understand you're affiliated with the Crips. First of all, don't tell nobody else that lie. I'm over in Inglewood. I ain't never been a Crip. Third of all, if that's your intelligence, they not too smart. Okay? I've never listen what I was saying. Listen what I was saying. They eventually got up off of it, but they tried to block me from getting my liquor license behind that speech, man. That's why I don't do a lot of stuff in public. Here I am on TV, goddammit. But I have to be very careful with what I say because I know people do listen, and it's very disturbing when somebody call you and tell you that there's something you did. I don't know, at that time might have been 4 or 5 years ago, that they have videotape of you speaking at an event, at a gang event. Like, okay.
How are the media treating this thing, the gang truth specifically?
It was really crazy, man, because they didn't believe it. They did not support it at all, dude. And it was very frustrating. We talked about that a few times. It was like this. Gang treaty. It was two guys, 2 shots fired today at so-and-so. I guess this treaty is not going as well as they think it is. That kind of bullshit. I'm serious as fuck. Okay? Yeah, the gang treaty. I thought it was a gang treaty. There's two shots fired over so-and-so and a robbery over here, whatever the case may be. And the news had a very cavalier attitude about it. Like, yeah, right. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. And it was never really like it was supported by the news at all, dude. It was never supported by the news. In fact, I remember during the riots, I remember seeing newscasters would be in front of a store that was being robbed. We're at the corner of Central and 35th Street at a grocery store. There's not a cop anywhere around. There are no cops anywhere. People are having a field day. So you just told them where to go. I'm telling you, dude, I got 5 minutes left. It's the same thing. I remember, dude, the news was different back then, dude. I remember when the news was talking about powdered cocaine, like it was the new drug that was the fountain of youth. Powdered cocaine, the party drug of the 80s, all over Hollywood, all over New York. It's everywhere. It's the drug of the 80s. It's called the champagne drug. Shit, man, you want some of that shit. Okay, I'm not lying. Jerry Dunphy. Who else was on the news back? Jerry Dunphy was my dude here in California.
Tom Brokaw.
Was Tom Brokaw and Walter Cronkite, all of them. Cocaine, party drug of the 80s. It's everywhere. It's in the clubs. It does this, it does that. It keeps you up all night long. Damn, that shit sounds fantastic. And that's how the shit was. That's how they talked about it, man. It was like they were promoting this shit. Real talk, dude. And this is the news era that I remember. And I'm quite sure if somebody said that it wasn't like that. I wish you can find some of those old. I've looked for some of them old cocaine stories. You ain't gonna find them on YouTube nowhere.
Damn, dude, crazy time, man. We got a couple more minutes to go, Lonzo. Someone wanted to know. Let me read this really quick before we head out. Boom, boom, boom. Seldom Seen says, "What's up, Dusty and Lonzo? I'm having trouble finding how to purchase the Eazy-E sign. I went to Lonzo Williams' show, but I don't see it. Can you tell everybody where they can get those Eazy-E signs?"
Hit me on my email, Real Lonzo NWA, Real Lonzo 2 L's NWA at Gmail, Doc, and I'll take care of you. Our website's I have 5 websites. All got hacked. I'm having them rebuilt right now. But right now, all my websites are down. We still can get you to sign. I think Martin wanted to sign too. Who that wanted to sign? Who that?
What Simon Says. He goes by Simon Says.
Simon Says. I know Martin said he wanted one also. Yeah. We can still get them done. It's not a problem. I like to at least get 2 or 3 at a time, so it's not just a one-off order. And it takes about 2 weeks to get them made. And just give me a deposit. We'll order it for you. It's not a problem whatsoever, folks. Hit me on my email, Real Lonzo, Lonzo, Real Lonzo, NWA at Gmail.
Yeah. And tell everybody where they can find your documentary, Lonzo.
My documentary is all over the place now, folks. It's on Amazon. It's on Tubi. It's on my channel, the Compton Entertainment channel as well. Just type in Eve After Dark documentary or just type in Eve After Dark. It's going to pop up, folks. Check it out and get ready. The next one is coming out now. It's going to be a few months. It's going to be hitting the film festivals first. And
Broken Home Podcast also says, don't forget about his hat. Jason at the Broken Home Podcast. Email Lonzo again a reminder and do me a favor and CC me also. Dusty Angel Oddcat. Actually, I'll contact you, Jason. I know you. We'll make it happen. Because
I've been busy as hell. I'll take care of it, but I just been super busy. But I'll take care of all the orders. Not a problem whatsoever, folks. I appreciate your support. What was I was saying something else. It was about
the documentary. You were finishing up on the documentary.
The documentary is fire, folks. This is the one that this is the one that actually shows my connection to everything West Coast hip hop. And listening to this book, History of Gangster Rap, they talk about certain things that happen in gangster rap. They don't tell you that this dude is why this happened. They just tell you this happened. They didn't tell you that Lonzo brought Steve Yano into the fold. They don't tell you that Lonzo did this, Lonzo did that. All they know is Steve Yano showed up one day. All right, folks. But NWA, now without Lonzo, tells you everything. Time to go, Dusty.
Yeah. Hit him with that ending, my man.
For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer, till it got cold on the eve after dark 50-yard line Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that the Hollywood Bulls is its only cap, folks. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that NWA stands for Not Without Lonzo. We're out of here, y'all. Peace.